Hare Krishna. I was already here from 7 o'clock. Didn't know my day. You already sang the Jaya Radha Madhava? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, Text 15. Sa etam prati buddhatma Chitraketu dijoktibhi Grahanda kupan niskranta Sara pankhad iva dipaha Sa etam prati buddhatma Chitraketu dijoktibhi Granda kupan niskrantaha Saraha pankad iva dipaha Shaitam prati buddhatma Chitraketu dijoktibhi Gandha kupan niskrantaha Sharaha pankad iva dipaha. Sha hi itam, in this way, pratibuddhatma, being fully aware of spiritual knowledge. Chitraketu, King Chitraketu, Dija Uktibhi, by the instruction of the perfect Brahmanas, Angira and Narada Muni. Griha Andakupat, from the dark well of family life. Nishkrantaha, came out. Sharaha, of a lake or reservoir of water. Pankat, from the mud. Eva, like. Dipaha, an elephant. Translation: thus enlightened by the instructions of the Brahmanas, Angira and Narada, King Chitraketu became fully aware of spiritual knowledge. As an elephant becomes free from a muddy reservoir of water, King Chitraketu came out of the dark well of family life. I'll read the next two verses, no purport. Translation number 16. The king bathed in the water of the Yamuna, and according to prescribed duties, he offered oblations of water to the forefathers and demigods, very gravely controlling his senses and mind. He then offered his respects and obeisances to the sons of Lord Brahma, Angira and Narada. Next verse. Therefore, being very much pleased with Chitraketu, who was a self-controlled devotee and surrendered soul, Narada, the most powerful sage, spoke to him the following transcendental instructions. This is the verse as the translation and purport. Om Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya Namasankarsanaya Cha Namo Vijnana Matraya Paramananda Murtaye Atmaramaya Santaya Nivrita Dayata Drishtaye. Translation and purport. Narada gave Chitraketu the following mantras. O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are addressed by the Omkara, Pranava, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord Vasudeva, meditate upon you. I meditate upon you. O Lord Pradyumna, O Lord Vasudeva, I meditate upon you. O Lord Pradyumna, Lord Aniruddha and Lord Sankarshan, I offer you my respectful obeisances. O reservoir of spiritual potency, O supreme bliss, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are self-sufficient and most peaceful, O ultimate truth, one without a second. You are realized as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, and are therefore the reservoir of all knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. Bhagavad-Gita Lord Krishna says that he is Pranava Sarvavedeshu, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. In transcendental knowledge, the Lord is addressed as Pranava, Omkar, which is a symbolic representation of the Lord in sound. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudev, who is an expansion of Narayan, expands himself as Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Sankarshan. From Sankarshan comes the second Narayan, expansion. And from this Narayan come further expansions of Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, Aniruddha. The Sankarshan in this group is the original cause of the three Purusha, namely Karanadakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshiradakshaya Vishnu. Kshiradakshaya Vishnu is situated in every universe in a special planet called Satadeep. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Antanta Rasta. The word Anta means this universe. Within this universe is a planet called Satadeep, where Kshiradakshaya Vishnu is situated. From him come all the incarnations within this universe. Pretty long. As confirmed in Brahma Samhita, all these forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are Advaita, non-different. They are also Achyuta, infallible, and they do not fall down like the conditioned souls. The ordinary living entity is prone to falling into the clutches of Maya, but the Supreme Lord in his different incarnations and forms of Achyuta, infallible. Therefore his body is different from the material body possessed by the conditioned soul. The word Matra is explained in the Medini dictionary as follows: Matra karna bhivushayam vitte mane parichade. The word Matra in its different imports, is used to indicate the decoration of the ear, possessions, respect, and the possession of a covering, as stated in the Bhagavad-Gita 2.14, Matras Parsastu Kunteya Shitasnu Sukadukesh Dukada Angama Payano Nityastam Stikti Shaksha Bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and the disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. In the conditioned state of life, the body is used as our dress, and as one needs different dresses during the summer and winter, we conditioned souls are changing bodies according to our desires. However, because the body of the Supreme Lord is full of knowledge, it needs to covering, no need covering. The idea that Krishna's body is like ours, in other words, that his body and soul are different, in a misunderstanding. There are no such differences of Krishna because his body is full of knowledge. Here we receive material bodies because of a lack of knowledge. But because Krishna, Vasudeva, is full of knowledge, there is no difference between his body and his soul. Krishna remembers what he said 40 million years ago to the sun god, but an ordinary being cannot remember what he said the day before yesterday. This is the difference between Krishna's body and our body. Therefore, the Lord is addressed as Vijnana Matraya Paramananda Murtaye. Because the Lord's body is full of knowledge, he always enjoys transcendental bliss. Indeed, his form is Paramananda. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Anandamaya Vyasat. By nature, the Lord is Anandamaya. Whenever we see Krishna, he is always full of Ananda in all circumstances. No one can make him morose. Atma Ramaya. He does not need to search for an external enjoyment because he is self-sufficient. Santaya. He has no anxiety. One who has to seek pleasure from other sources is always full of anxiety. Karmis, Gyanis and Yogis are full of anxiety because they want something, but a devotee does not want anything. He is simply satisfied in the service of the Lord, who is fully blissful. Nivrita Daita Drishtaye. Another conditions life in our bodies have different parts, but although Krishna apparently has different bodily parts, no parts of his body is different from any other parts. Krishna can see with his eyes and can see without his eyes. Therefore, in the Seta Swatasara Upanishad it is said, Paschat Achakshu, he can see with his hands and legs. He does not need a particular bodily part to perform a particular action. Angani Jasya Shakalendre Vrittimanti. He can do anything he desires with any part of his body, and therefore he is called Almighty. Okay. So here, as we can see from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, very elaborately explaining the conditioned soul, the difference between conditioned soul and the Supreme Godhead, the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt in the mind of a devotee that we know fully, we're fully aware the position of the Supreme Lord, who he is and what his qualities are. Supreme Godhead, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is Bhagavan. It's mentioned here, Atma Ramaya, that he is fully satisfied with himself. He is not seeking for happiness in others. We are seeking for happiness in others. satisfied. God, He is self-satisfied. He is not looking for happiness. He Himself is all happiness. It mentioned here, Almighty. His Bhagavan means one who is the source of happiness. All the happiness that we have, He is the source of the happiness. We seek happiness in Him. This is why we chant Hare Krishna. This is why we turn to Him, because He is the source of everything. Sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivishto. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Sarvasya chaham, all. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, aham. Krishna says, I, sarvasya prabhavo, everything are my emanations. So in the previous verse to this verse we read just now, Angira Muni and Narad Muni, they are always traveling together as a companion. And their job, they're out of compassion for all the people of this world, they travel, enlightening the conditioned souls. That's what the job of a guru, a Vaishnava. They travel like a sannyasi. They travel and preach the glories of Krishna because they know that the real happiness is in pleasing Krishna. That's why this verse, Griha Andakupam, the first verse, family life, life of an ignorant person, Griha Andakupam, they are stuck like in a well, Andakupa, blinded by ignorance. Andakupa, Anda means blind. It's also in Hindi, Mandha. Sanskrit too. Kupa means a well. So we are stuck in the well. If you fall in the well, you're stuck in the well, it's pretty hard to get out. There's somebody to help you out, to get you out of the well, isn't it? If you fall in the well, there's no one's around. So it's a very precarious situation to be stuck in the well. So similarly, we living in it, we are stuck in the well of in the material existence. Griha andakupam. Griha means one who is situated, properly situated. But when it's andakupa, it's not properly situated. You can't tell yourself you're properly situated if you're stuck in the well. I'm doing fine. But you are suffering in the well. So the ignorant people, they're thinking, I am fine. You ask them, how are you? I'm fine. Even though he's full of anxiety. He's making a show of happiness. But underneath they're unhappy. Externally they're showing that they're happy. So this Narada Muni, Angira Muni, they're traveling to enlighten those who are in ignorance, like the conditioned soul, like us in the material world. This is what sannyasi does. They're traveling in the airplane. Before they used to fly. Now they're traveling in the airplane, like Srila Prabhupada, crossing the ocean to America. He came here, giving us the transcendental knowledge, like it says here. Transcendental knowledge. Atmagyan, knowledge of the soul, spiritual subject matters, which is not taught in the university and colleges, because they are teaching you how to become more entangled in the material world. Economic development, sense gratification, having a good job, a good family, prestigious job. These things are only material. They only entangle you. They don't liberate you from the entanglement of ignorance. The only thing can liberate us, uplift us, that through the consciousness has to be uplifted. How? Krishna consciousness. From studying the Bhagavatam, listening the Bhagavatam from a devotee's mouth, from a Vaishnava, from a sadhu. Sadhu means one who has the knowledge, they can lift you from this ignorance through their teachings. Sadhu means one who is fixed in knowledge, spiritual knowledge. They are fixed in the techniques of teaching, the culture of bhakti, the knowledge, spiritual teachings. Expert, sadhu, an expert guru, they can uplift a disciple Uplift means they know the technique. We know how to fix a computer knowledge, IT knowledge, software, programmer, different knowledge. Or a business dealer, like commerce. These are all material knowledge. They don't touch on the subject matter of the spirit soul, Atmagan. They can't lift us from the material clutches of ignorance. That can only be done by the mercy of a sadhu. A Vaishnava can lift us, our consciousness. Everyone in this world, today especially, we see that they are full of anxiety. Despite with all the modern advancement. We have everything material, modern advancement. You have very advanced knowledge. Fly an airplane, drive a train, you drive your car, really good car, you have a good job, you have material knowledge to live in this world. But despite such advanced society, material society, people are not happy because they are bereft of spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is the only knowledge can give you the tangible happiness that we are looking for deep in our heart. Because all the material things are very dry. There's no juice in it. The juice is in Krishna Katha, glorifying the Supreme Lord. When we glorify the Supreme Lord Krishna, our mind becomes peaceful. This is the only way. Our mind is full of dirty. We are thinking of so many nonsense. So many things in our head, in our heart, that can be cleansed away. Chitta darpanamarjanam, Baba Mahava Davagni Nirvapanam. Our chitta, our heart, is full of desires and amala, dirt. So that can be cleared away. Chitta darpanamarjanam, cleansed away by the chanting of the holy names, by talking about Krishna, by glorifying Krishna, by listening the topics of Krishna from the Bhagavatam, from the mouth of a devotee, by following the instruction of the spiritual master. This is the process. They say, oh, I'm happy, but I don't know how to become happy. We are showing you how to become happy. The process is right here in the Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, Narada Muni, Angira Muni, all the Goswamis, Acharyas, they all have come. Sri Krishna himself came, Janmashtami, Radhastami, Radharani appeared. Why did they come here? To enlighten us from this ignorant material suffering, entanglement of material life. Grihanda Kupam. That we are stuck in the well of material existence. To come out from this, stuck from this deep material existence is that we have to listen to Guru, we have to listen to the Vaishnava, we have to listen to the spiritual master, we have to listen to Krishna's advice from the Bhagavad-Gita. Why did Krishna speak the Bhagavad-Gita? The same thing is being described here. Krishna came here because he was showing himself, he is the Supreme Lord. That's why he lifted Govardhan hill. He killed the Putana, Aghasura, and many demons, Kamsa. His activities were extraordinary. Cannot be performed by any ordinary human being. Why he showed that? Because he wanted to show he is God. He is Bhagavan. He wanted to attract us to come to him, to his aid, to serve him, to see, oh, here's Krishna, let me serve you. Shishchasteham sadimam tvam papannam. Krishna spoke the Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna, describing these things. He's telling him, I'm God. Param Brahma Pram Dhamma Pavitram Pramam Bhavan Purusham Shasatam Divyam Adi Deva Majam Bivum Ashito Devala Vyasa Sayam Chava Bravishime. He said, I am Param Brahman, I am the Supreme. And it's mentioned here that Krishna original form, and from him came the four Vishnus, his avatars, like Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. These are his expansions. And from him, this expansion came the three Vishnus. Kiradashaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. This is the process of incarnation and expansion of the universe. So the first expansion is God himself, Krishna, the source of everything. It's not that everything just poof, just appeared accidentally. Bhagavatam clearly explains it, how the universe was created by him. If we study the Bhagavatam, we have full knowledge. So Krishna is the creator of everything. Someone may say, oh, he is the creator of everything. Why did he create this world? Make us so much suffering. That means he's not very nice. He's making us unhappy. So much suffering here, he created it. People will say like that. If we say Krishna is the creator of everything, that means all the suffering he also created. We are suffering. Birth, death, old age, disease. Why did he create that? He didn't create. We wanted it. If I put here dog, cat, mouse, snake, a beautiful human being, a demigod, and you choose to become a mouse or a dog, right? And you take a body of a dog, you go, and then the beautiful body of a human being or demigod, but you choose to take a body of a cat and a dog. Meow. You start to act like a dog and a cat. We choose that. So, Maya Dakshina Prakriti, Krishna says he created this world. Now we are working under the direction of material nature. And the material nature is working under his direction. No one is independent. There's a system in the creation. We choose to create, we choose to accept the body of a human being. We choose to accept of a body of an animal. We choose to, we have desires. So, material nature facilitating us according to the desire that we ask for. So this world, dharyate jagat, Krishna created according to our desire. We wanted it. Nobody wants to go to the prison, isn't it? Rather, still there is a prison. And you go there, there's full of people there in the prison. They violated it. So, mature world is like a karagar. It's a prison house. It's a very complicated prison house. Complex. Here, we are made to think it's very nice, under illusion. But you think it's, very fantastic here. I love it here. But we are bombarded by misery. When you think everything is fine, and the misery comes. Whipped by Maya. Winter, so cold. Summer, so hot. Raining coming out. Somewhere right now is flooding. My house, everything washed away. You built your home, very nicely washed away. This is material world. This is karagar. This prison house of suffering. Everybody is thinking, I'll enjoy. But at the expense of suffering, there's so much suffering. More suffering than the happiness. This much happiness, this much suffering. But just for that little bit of happiness, we work so hard. That is called Maya, illusion. We're running after sense enjoyment that is hard to get. And when you get it, you think, so good. It's like if you're thirsty and you want a big glass of water and somebody just gives you a drop of water. Open your mouth, one drop, thank you. But you want more. That is material enjoyment. Material enjoyment is very, very short and very little. We're always hankering. Akanksha. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Saraswati Nakanksati. Those who are in the spiritual platform, they're beyond hankering and lamentation. Brahma Bhuta. But because we are in the material platform, we are thinking this happiness is so good. So here, great acharyas, they're showing us, enlightening us. Everyone is looking for enlightenment, the happiness. Like you kids, these Hare Krishna kids, if they come here, you're thinking, I'll chant japa, I'll be here, attend the class. This is the way for enlightenment. It starts from an early age. When the senses are very strong, when the senses and the body is working well, we're in a healthy condition of life starting from the young age. That's the time to start spiritual life. Beginning of our life. Komara acharet pragya dharman bhagavata niha. Prahlad Maharaj said, we have to start to become Krishna conscious from beginning of our life as a child. Because when Kulakshekara, a great Acharya, says in the Bhagavatam that at time of death, it becomes very difficult to remember you. The voice becomes choked up. So much suffering on the body. I can't think of you. Body is completely fallen apart. Let me now think of you when my body is functioning. This is his prayer. They said, no, when I get old I will. Acharya didn't say like that. They said to start to become Krishna conscious from beginning of life, from early ages of life. Because that time our body is functioning well. We are very good, we can think properly, we can see things nicely, we can sing and dance, our body is in a healthy condition. That's the time to start spiritual life. Because our human life, our human body is meant to realize God. That's why we are given, this body is given to us by Krishna for his service. This body, the sarir, it's meant for his service. But we are misusing it. So Atmaram, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. He is fully satisfied. It's mentioned here that he can see with his leg and his hands. He can hear with his hand. Angani jasya shakalendriya vrittimanti. Shakala indriya. He can perform any of the acts with his different senses of his body. He is not in need of, he is not dependent. He is independent. We are dependent. If you go one day without eating, you will be starving. You break the kitchen to get the food out. Isn't it? Because we are so hungry. Krishna, he created the food. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. All the things come from Krishna. We are offering Krishna, how many offering a day? A lot of offering every day. A lot of food. First thing in the morning till night. We eat 3 times a day. But he can eat so many because he is the enjoyer. He's not thinking, I'm eating, I'm so hungry. He eating the bhakti, the love that he offered to him. He can abstract the devotion that you put in, that you add. That is addition. You may not be a good cook, but because your intention is to cook for, out of love, to cook for Krishna. He accepts that offering because he offered to him with love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakti prayachati tadaham bhakti aprahitam ashnami prayatatpunaha. Krishna says, whatever everybody offers me with water, fruit, or a leaf, I accept it because he has offered to me with devotion. Out of devotion. You can get a job and work outside and build a home and live a very nice life. But devotees have given up all those things because we take pleasure in serving Krishna. Our pleasure is in serving God. Our pleasure is serving the Vaishnavas. The real pleasure is to be only found in Bhagwan. There's no pleasure out there. It's all chewing the chew. Punascharvita charvananam. Chewing the chew, dry. Like eating bread without butter and all the thing. Just scratching your mouth and stomach. There's no enjoyment. Dry existence. Adgriha andakupam. The dark well of ignorance. It's a hard life of material existence. Everyone is struggling for life. We don't have to be that way. You can chant Hare Krishna, live a very simple life. Out of land, from the land, there's water here, or rivers here, land here. But we're destroying it. It's all there. Everything Krishna has given us for a better life. There is no better life in this world. Abrahma bhavana loka punaravartin Arjuna, Krishna said. From Brahma loka, highest planet, the heavenly planet, down to the lowest. All are places of misery. He's Bhagavan, he's saying that. Who are we to make this place a perfect place? It's not a perfect place. It's limited. You eat, you're hungry again, you have to eat again. Enjoyment is very limited. This is why Narad Muni and Angira Muni here, he has come to this King Chitraketu. Because King Chitraketu was totally immersed in the family life, in enjoyment. He had thousands of wives, no one can give him happiness. He wanted a child, they all couldn't give. So Narad Muni came, he was so unhappy. Narad Muni came to him and enlightened him with spiritual knowledge. Now he understands. He said, thank you for giving me this knowledge. That is the position, that is the job of a guru, a teacher, spiritual teacher. Not just telling you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's material knowledge. They're giving us Atmagyan. They're giving us spiritual knowledge. Touches the heart. This is why people that come here, they are touched by the beauty of Lord Krishna. By hearing, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, by hearing the Krishna Katha, our hearts open up. Because this knowledge can touch us deep down in our heart, in our consciousness, in our mind. All the other knowledge doesn't touch our heart. It's all business, economy, external, not deep in the material, in the spiritual understanding. It's all on the surface. If you want to touch the heart of the living entity, to awaken us, enlighten us, then we have to hear the Bhagavatam from Angira Muni, from Vyasadeva, from the mouth of Prabhupada. Then our heart becomes open up. We are enlightened. Material knowledge cannot awaken us. It only bogs us down more and more, like a quicksand. You hear of a quicksand? A quicksand, you're stuck in it, and the more you try to push yourself up, you go down more. That's what it does. So material world is like a quicksand. You're thinking, I'm just fine, and you're going down more. How more hard work? You're only going deeper and deeper in the material existence. Spiritual life means uplifting. Just by chanting Hare Krishna once, by hearing Krishna Katha once, you're uplifted. You become fully happy. Because that is the nature of spiritual life. That is the nature of chanting Hare Krishna. Because Krishna is there in His name. He is personally there. He is there to enlighten. This is why we are seeking that happiness. We are seeking to associate with devotees. We are seeking to hear the glories of Krishna. Because this is what really gives us the happiness that we are really looking for. A devotee is always searching for this happiness. Why do we come here to temple? Because we are looking for that happiness. We are here to please Radha Krishna. This is what we are meant to do in human life. Everything else you're doing is out of line, is not what you're meant to do. Even you have family, everything, you have family, children, home, job, business, whatever you have. Like I said in the beginning of the class, this thing didn't satisfy you. You come to the temple for 5 minutes, sit in front of the deity, chant Hare Krishna, can give you more happiness than you can acquire from all your hard work. Just in 5 minutes. Because Krishna, He can give you that happiness, that deep in our heart that we are looking for. He can satisfy us. Satisfaction. Everyone wants to be satisfied. The satisfaction you can't find out there in the material world. That's why Bhagavatam and the Vaishnavas were in line with this knowledge. We said the same thing what Bhagavatam says. We don't say anything different. Spiritual master, he is teaching of his spiritual master. And that spiritual master is teaching what his spiritual master taught him. All the way to Krishna. We don't say anything different. So that's why devotees is like the book Bhagavata. Book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata. It's the same thing. Because we don't say anything different from what Krishna says. As it is. Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Not something you are making up. Speculation. Everything else is speculation. The scientists, they're saying, oh, in the future we'll create. They've been saying this for so many years. In the future, we will create life. We have a book called Life Come From Life. If I give you this cup, you can't create a life from the cup. Because it's a dead matter. As simple as that. Life comes from life. If there's a life inside, then the plant will grow. It'll find its way. If you hold there, it'll grow up through there. Similarly, life comes from life. So scientists say, we'll create life. Prabhupada used to say, I give you everything. Chemical, all the ingredients. Create life. Oh, not now, in the future we will. This is how they're talking. If everybody in the world are dying every day, Mrityuscharvasya Krishna says that once one is born, death is certain. No matter how hard you try to stay here, we all have to die. The good thing is, we don't die, the body dies. If you don't believe in it, where's your child's body? That's gone. So we're dying every day. Well, I don't believe in it. You like it or not, it doesn't depend on belief. It's a fact. We have to accept the fact. We accept the truth. Satya. This Narada Muni gave the mantra. These are the mantras. I offer my respectful obeisance to God. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the verse. This is the mantra. Mantra is the Hare Krishna mantra. The holy name. There's no another mantra. The real mantra, man means man. Hum log ka man, our mind, is full of distress, full of anxiety, full of stuff that gives you so much dissatisfaction in this world today. The world is full of uncertainty, war, famine. In Africa, I was just watching yesterday. No food to eat. Children, they are malnourished. In some country, big floods. Here we are thinking, I'm just fine. That is the illusion. One side, suffering, other side is not suffering. There is suffering there, always suffering. We're born with the suffering. That's why they have child medicine. No children born with 4 arms and peacock feather. That's Krishna. We are born crying. Yeah. Immediately we are crying, full of blood, mucus. Now there's a golden plate with jewels, peacock feather, playing flute. That's Bhagavan. That's the difference. We are Om Aganayati Vedandasya. We are born of ignorance. That's why the spiritual master comes to wake us up, enlighten us from this ignorance, darkness of ignorance. We're thinking, I'm just good. Even if you're a rich man, he's in the same level. So, spiritual knowledge is the knowledge that can awaken a conditioned soul. Anything else is not going to awaken us. Only going to bog us down more and more, like the quicksand. So you want to become happy? Come here. Associate sadhu. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra hai. Sarva shastra hai. All the scriptures are recommending. Sarva shastra hai. Sadhu sangha. Associate sadhus. Where is the sadhu out there? Sadhus are here. Okay, he wear dhoti and tilak and everything, then he talk about nonsense. That's not sadhu. Only disguise. Where we can't criticize. Go there where there is hanker and reach out for sadhu sangha, where you can get that sadhu sangha to uplift us. You have to make an effort. Get up, go to the program, go to the temple, prayer, oblations, make an offering. You have to make an endeavor. It doesn't come. You sit down on your food doesn't fall on your plate. Even if you have $1 million, still you have to get the rice, dal, and cook it, put the spices. You have a big home, but when you're hungry, you still need to cook. It's not just boom, fall on your plate. So there's an effort. Everything has an effort. There's a starting point where you have to make an effort. The Hare Krishna movement is a movement to move our soul, to expand our Krishna consciousness, to make spiritual advancement, to go back to Godhead, all the way, step to go to spiritual world. So we have to starting point. Take initiation, accept a guru, follow the process. This is the starting of a human life. Cat or dog, they don't take initiation. They don't seek out for guru. Because they're always doing go, looking for food. That's it. But we are human beings, we have to make tangible effort to make spiritual progress. Because that's what we are meant to do as a human being. Our brain, our intelligence tells us, seek out for sadhu. Animals, they don't seek out for these things. That's the difference. We are given sufficient intelligence to look for God, because that's what human life is for. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa. Search in the truth of Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Brahman life, spiritual life. If you don't do those things, where's the difference? Cat and dog and bird, they get up in the morning, they're just looking for food all day. Very busy. We're the same. We get up, sometimes they don't even have time to even brush your teeth. They're brushing when they're driving or shaving. So busy. Looking for money, a home, all these things. Same thing. Similarly, we have to put that much effort for God realization. Otherwise, there's no difference. Duya pada pashu, two-legged animals. 4 legs, cat and dog have 4 legs, we have 2 legs. If we act like cat and dog, 4-legged in the 2 leg. Duya pada pashu. Say, oh, this guy is too heavy. That's what Bhagavatam says, not me. When you speak the truth, people will appreciate. If you're sincere, you like it. So Bhagavatam is truthful, not a commercial book. It's the scriptures. It tells only the truth. It tells us how we can be really happy. That's why we have the Bhagavatam class every day. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Omkar. No. No. Omkar is the sound vibration. This is spiritual sound vibration. So that is a mantra. also. So that is it is the sound, spiritual sound vibration. The first sound vibration is the Omkar. So ultimate sound vibration, you can say, is Omkar. But it has its variegatedness. Just like you may have more than one name, or two name, middle name. They always ask for it. They always say, oh, what's your middle name? And like that. So similarly, there are different versions of the same name. Like Krishna has Govinda, Gopal, Murari, different names. So he has primal name, Krishna. So similarly, the sound vibration of this Omkar, even though it is ultimate, but the scriptures says that we have to chant the name of Krishna, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. So these are the primal name. So even though that is the sound incarnation of the Lord, Omkar, but if I say sound, that is not complete. It has a complete, to make it more complete, you have to say name. My name, Prabhava, his name, another name. Everybody has a name, not just simply sound. So sound vibration is one thing. But the ultimate sound of the universe, the first sound, is Omkar. To clarify that, describe it more clearly, it has a name. And when you say name, everybody has a name. So if I say name, it automatically has a form. And when you say form, have a personality, has a place, has a home. So there is Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. He is Shama Sundar playing the flute. He has a cowherd boy. He has a place. So the description, by saying name, it makes it more clear and complete. So if it's a sound, that's Omkar. Om. Like there is different level which do the yoga. Om, so it deepens our chakra. But if you want to make more clear, it's not the sound only. It has a name. And from that name, maybe I have a sound. But to clarify everything nicely, you have to mention the proper name, not just the sound. So Omkar is there. You can start off Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it didn't just say Om Namo. It also mentioned the Bhagavate. Bhagavate means Bhagwan. So it starts with Om, the sound, and then finish it with a proper name, mantra. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.